Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs. And tonight, it's round 2, game 3 between the Hamilton Cardinals and the defending IBL champion, Barrie Baycats. Hi again, everybody, and welcome with Julius Hern. I'm Ben Davy. Well, it's official. Summer vacation is now finally over, but look what's coming up this weekend. The IBL Championship Series is about to begin. The Barrie Baycats 1 win away from punching their ticket to get there. Matter of fact, it was exactly 1 year ago tonight that the Baycats advanced to the IBL Championship Series last year with a win over the London Majors, sweeping them. Similar situation today, but a different opponent.
Yeah, different opponent, Hamilton Cardinals this time. But it was actually Juan Benitez who started that game as well. 7 shutout innings against the London Majors. In fact, each of the last 3 times the Barrie Baycats have clinched the series at home, it was Juan Benitez who started. First round against Toronto last year, the semis against London as well, and then earlier in this first round against the Toronto Maple Leafs nearly a week ago. So Juan Benitez really kind of been that clinching starting pitcher for Josh Matlow's rotation, and obviously the confidence is there for him.
As for the Hamilton Cardinals, it seems like absolutely nothing has gone their way so far in this second round series. They've managed just 1 run in the 2 games that these teams have played so far after a boatload of runs in their earlier series against Chatham-Kent.
You look back to those first 2 games against Chatham-Kent, 20 runs for the Hamilton Cardinals, and you said just 1 in the first 2 against Barrie, but it's also been the defense that's really hurt them earlier on in the first 2 games of this series. First, it was against Enrique Saldana. 3 of the runs he allowed were unearned, and Owen Boone, kind of the similar kind of thing with him. The errors earlier on really hurt Boone in that start on Sunday afternoon, so the Cardinals really have to get it done on both sides of the ball to keep this series going.
Pitching matchup tonight is Adames versus Benitez, with the Baycats 1 win away from punching their ticket to the IBL Championship Series. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the first pitch right after this. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Batting 8th, the designated hitter, number 48, Matt Hildebrand. And batting 9th in left field, number 12, Yoki Pena. On the mound tonight for the Cardinals, number 31, Freesis Adamos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing center field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third, the second baseman, number 0, Francisco Hernandez. Batting fourth at first base, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting fifth in left field, number 6, Tristan Clark. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting seventh in right field, number 28, Noah Hull. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 43, Clayton Keys. On the mound for your Baycats tonight, number 30, Juan Benitez. Here are the umpires for tonight's contest. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Michael Guthrow. Handling first base, Ryan Hern. At second base, Jeff Rose. And at third base, Scott Costello. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise, if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
The first September baseball game of 2025 here in Barrie, so you know it's going to be a big one. And also the first school night of the year for the kids, but just the same, a really good crowd here tonight for this potentially series clinching game for the Barrie Baycats against the Hamilton Cardinals.
Yeah, we were talking before the game, you know, we were maybe worried that maybe the school night, first school night of the year, or I guess second school night of the year, might stray away some fans from attending tonight's ball game, but the crowd really filled in nicely ahead of the first pitch, and they're in for potentially a big series clinching moment.
Let's take a look at the Hamilton Cardinals with their backs against the wall tonight. Here's the lineup that their manager puts together this evening. Carlos Dominguez in right field is leading off. Nico Kakatos is at first base, batting second. It's Brandon Nickel at short, batting third. Tyler Duncan, the power-hitting cleanup man, is in center field. Yammer Hernandez behind the plate hits fifth. Tommy Reyes-Cruz at second base bats sixth. Jaden Brown at third bats seventh. The DH is Matt Hildebrand. He's batting eighth, and the number 9 hitter is Yoki Pena in left field for Luis Bernardo's Hamilton Cardinals.
On the mound for the Barrie Baycats, I mentioned it earlier, but Juan Benitez back on the mound for another potential series clinching game at home. This will be his third start of the postseason, the first two against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's 0-1 with a 4.9 ERA, 11 innings pitched so far in the playoffs, 7 strikeouts, just 4 walks. Been kind of that anchor in this Baycats rotation, and really started as that number 2 spot in the rotation in the playoffs, but you know, he's been that bulldog, as Josh Matlow likes to call him.
Our starting lineups and pitchers brought to you by Sports Medicine, the official clinic of the Barrie Baycats. Calling the balls and strikes, Mike Guthrow behind home plate. First base, Ryan Hern. Second base, Jeff Rose. Third base, Scott Costello. On an overcast night here in Barrie, very comfortable game time temperature. We had a little humidity earlier, but 21 degrees. For our first pitch, it's high and inside to Carlos Dominguez, and it's a 7:39 start here tonight in Barrie. The Dominican right-hander delivers, and he misses with that one low and away. He's behind Dominguez 2-0.
Well, those first pitch strikes are such a key for Juan Benitez early on in his outings. Really seems like that energy will build for him.
Popped up, left side of the infield. Off of the mask is Tyler Plumpton against the screen, and it's just out of his reach. Gave it a good look. Nothing he could do there. Jokingly puts his catcher's mitt through the screen, but nothing you can do on that one. Count 2-1.
And just inches away from Tyler Plumpton over that screen. Kind of that lucky angle there off the bat of Carlos Dominguez.
Benitez, 33 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. The tall right-hander misses low and away. 3-1 now to Dominguez. Popped up again, this one to the right side. Another chance for Plumpton. He's got some room here, makes the catch, and there's one away.
Let's give it the defense here for the Barrie Baycats behind Juan Benitez. Starting outfield, Tristan Clark in left, Noel McGarry-Doyle. Noah Hall gets to start in right field tonight with Clayton Keys as the designated hitter. Adam Odd's back in the lineup at third base. Hernandez brothers at shortstop and second base respectively. Brendan and Francisco. Noah Macabrota at first and Tyler Plumpton back behind the dish.
Here's the first pitch to Kakatos. It's a called strike. How important has been the versatility of Noah Hull this year defensively? He's played basically both outfield and infield corner positions, third, first, left, and right. This one is short. Hernandez takes that midsection, fires across. Quickly 2 out here for Juan Benitez.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Noah Hull, another start in right field for him tonight. You know, we've seen him play a lot of third base, and he might come in depending on who's the designated hitter in any given lineup for Josh Matlow. He could be a first baseman, but his bat's been so reliable throughout the whole season. It's really hard to sit him on the bench to start a game.
Brandon Nickel now, the shortstop. And again, Benitez falls behind 1-0. This one's fouled back to our right, just over the roof, towards the ticket booth. Beautiful orangish, pinkish color sky over right field right now as the sun sets. Enjoying these earlier and earlier sunsets now as we head into the late September weeks. This one low and away, 2-1.
That orange tinge is really bringing out the fall, vibes for this, for the playoff baseball.
A lot of these trees are going to look that color pretty soon. Benitez behind again, 3-1. He's pitched well despite falling behind all 3 batters here in this top half of the inning. A pop-up, a ground out, and now a 3-1 pitch. Nickel chops it on the ground to third. Fair ball. Picked up by Odd. Makes the off-balance throw. Not in time. Nice effort by Odd, but it took a while for that ball to get to him.
Plus, he was all the way over on that left side, basically on the, that dirt path where the third baseline is, having to come up with that ball. Did everything he could, but Nickel with the speed beats it out to extend the inning.
So Nickel aboard and the always dangerous Tyler Duncan. At the plate for the Cardinals, he has home run power. This is one of the tallest pitcher-batter matchups that you'll see. Duncan fouls that one back to the screen. Benitez, an intimidating 6'6".
And Duncan, about 6 feet tall himself, 6'1", I believe.
Waggles the bat, waits, Benitez throws, and this one hit high to center field. Running a long way to his right is McGarry-Doyle, but taking it in left is Tristan Clark for the out. Cardinals strand a runner. We've played half an inning, no score here in Barrie.
From 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
first inning of play is brought to you by Park Place, Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game.
Ben Davy and Julius Hern in Barrie, Springwater Township to be precise, the home of Athletic Kulture Stadium, and the Barrie Baycats coming to bat here on the bottom of the first inning. Noel McGarry-Doyle leading off in center field. Brandon Hernandez at shortstop bats second. Francisco at second base bats third. Cleanup man, once again, Nolan Macabroda. He's at first base. Tristan Clark in left field hits fifth. Adam Ott at third base tonight in the number 6 spot. Noah Hull, as mentioned, right field tonight, batting seventh. Tyler Plumpton, the veteran catcher behind the plate, hits 8th. And the number 9 hitter is designated hitter Clayton Keys.
On the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals, Freesis Adamas. He's pitched once here in Barrie already this year. It was a 4-inning outing and a Cardinal win. Had only allowed 1 earned run on 4 hits. Been in the playoffs already. 5 1/3 against Chatham-Kent in Game 3 of that series. And then that was the game that Hamilton lost. Eventually a walk-off win by the Barnstormers. He led 4 earned runs on 7 hits, but struck out 8.
High energy, lots of excitement and optimism here in the crowd prior to tonight's game. Let's see if the Baycats offense can pick up on that and get a little action going early here. First pitch swinging, McGarry-Doyle hits it right to third. Brown with the easy throw over, 1 away.
On that note, give me the defense here for the Cardinals. Yoki Pena is in left, Tyler Duncan in center, Carlos Dominguez in right. Your standard starting 3 in the outfield for Hamilton. Jaden Brown's at third, Brandon Nickel at short, Tommy Reyes-Cruz at second, Nico Kakados, the rookie, at first, and Yammer Hernandez back behind the plate for Freesis Adamas.
Our starting lineups for Sports Medicine, the official clinic of the Barrie Baycats. Brandon Hernandez made an outstanding defensive play at shortstop Sunday afternoon that you got to see, and Hamilton Julius and Baycats were flashing the leather in that game on Sunday. And he hits this one hard, high and deep to right center field. It'll stay up there, though, for Carlos Dominguez, 2 away.
Typically don't see a lot of power on the pull side for Brandon Hernandez. Usually a lot of his power is going the opposite field. So, really trying to split that gap between Dominguez and Duncan, but a speedy outfield between those two out in right field and center field cut it down.
Francisco Hernandez scored 2 of Barrie's 7 runs in that 7-1 win on Sunday. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
And you mentioned that play by Brandon Hernandez, and it was like a couple pitches after another diving stop on the ground by Francisco. Just couldn't come up with it as he was going to his feet. It would have been really cool to have the brothers make highlight reel plays back-to-back.
Combined, the brothers scored 4 of Barrie's 7 runs in that game, 2 each. Nolan Macabroda with a huge afternoon at the plate, going 3 for 5. 1-1 pitch. That's down in the zone, 2-1. Cardinals trying to keep this series alive and send it back to Bernie Arbor tomorrow night. If they can do that and win that, we're back here for Game 5. And that would be on Thursday night. That pitch low, 3-1. Here's the pitch from Adamas. On the ground to third again. Jaden Brown makes the routine play. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first inning. No score here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited. Well, Juan Benitez has passed his first test of the night, and that was an inspection from the umpires. Checking his glove, checking his pant leg. They looked him over pretty good there.
Yeah, saw all four umpires, come together and speak, towards that shortstop position. There's some words from Angel Castro again.
First pitch strike to Yammer Hernandez, and there is some chatter going on in the Cardinal dugout right now. Home plate umpire Michael Gautreau telling them to settle it down.
Carlos Dominguez making sure that he keeps Angel Castro seated.
Several Cardinal players / coaches making their way towards Gautreau after just one pitch here in this top of the second inning. Here's a high fly ball, right field. Catch is made by Noah Hull. One out in the inning.
Well, we know how vocal Angel Castro was, especially in Game 1 of this series. Wasn't in Hamilton for Game 2, but back seated, dugout side for Game 3.
In your post-game interview with Cesar Rosado, you asked him about that, and his response to your question led me to believe that he actually thrives off of that.
Yeah.
They were yelling all kinds of things at him from the Hamilton dugout in Game 1 of this series, but he said, if anything, that just fired him up all the more.
Yeah, he loved that kind of thing. I know Josh Matlow really doesn't have a problem with it because he knows it fires the team up.
Popped up, behind the bag at third, and out of play.
But I know, speaking to Josh Matlow before Game 2, the only concern that he had with, especially Castro with what he was saying, he was just concerned that, he didn't want any derogatory language coming from the Cardinal dugout because he doesn't want, a lot of the kids in the ballpark to be overhearing that.
Well, there's enough Spanish-speaking players on both of these teams. I'm sure they can hold each other accountable to that. And if anything completely over the line was said, it would be pointed out by somebody. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball from Benitez. Just missed. To Tommy Reyes Cruz.
You gotta wonder how much of part of that is, having Castro seated beside the dugout as opposed to being in the dugout at the top rail.
3-1 pitch is fouled back, and it's a full count now to Reyes Cruz. Well, he hasn't changed since his days in Toronto, that's for sure. That was an ongoing thing at Christie Pitts as well, with lots of noise coming out of the Toronto dugout, and Hamilton Cardinals have that now in Castro as their pitching coach this year. Popped up behind the plate, Plumpton back again against the screen, just missed that. That's 2 balls in a row that have been just out of his reach tonight.
Like if that screen wasn't there on both, in the first inning and then that one right there, would have been a routine catch for Plumpton, just a little bit further to go.
Tyler Plumpton is going to be petitioning for that backstop to be moved back a couple of feet, I think, after tonight's game. 2 more outs the Baycats could have had. This one fouled over the screen and out of play. So it's a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch from Benitez. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the game is brought to you by IMP North. 2 out in the second.
Again, that's what's going to build this energy here for Juan Benitez, because we talked about earlier how the first pitch strikes are a real key for him. And he told me earlier this year, once he feels like he can get those first pitch strikes and get ahead in counts early, he feels like he can basically throw anything in any count.
Has a knack for clinching games, as you mentioned earlier, and fans here thoroughly enjoyed his last performance at home, the clinching game against Toronto. Game 5 of that series, Barrie with their backs against the wall, 2-1. Toronto took a early lead in that series. Baycats with 2 do-or-die wins to get to round 2.
It's interesting that I was talking with Tristan Clark and Caleb Sorosky earlier today before the game, and Clark was telling us that he had a hitters meeting after Game 3. He held a hitters meeting, after the Game 3 loss, and essentially kind of went over a bunch of at-bats with a lot of his teammates. And that was the first real time that he said that he felt like he was the most vocal leader on the team, because he's, as I said before, he's very much a lead-by-example character.
That one went off of somebody's bare hand in front of the Baycats dugout. Looks like everybody's okay.
I think that was
ball and 2 strikes.
I think that was Chris Nagorski.
Here comes the crowd behind Juan Benitez with a 1-2 count. On the ground to short. Hernandez makes the throw in time for the out. Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down. This game moving right along as we head to the bottom of the second inning. No score at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Second inning of play is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Freezes Adamas took care of the Baycats 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. Heart of the order now. Nolan Macabrota, Tristan Clark, and Adam Odd are due up here in this bottom of the second inning as the Baycats will look for their first run and first hit of the ball game early on here in this third game of the best of 5. Baycats up 2-0 in the series with a chance to clinch here tonight and advance to the IBL Championship Series. Nolan Macabrota waits for the first pitch from Adamas, and he fouls it away.
Mentioned Adamas pitched once against the Baycats this year. It was here against Juan Benitez, second weekend of the year. Former Milwaukee Brewers prospect. He had 7 strikeouts in just 4 innings in that game. Cardinals ended up winning 2-1.
Up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Barrie gets their first base runner. Nolan Macabrota is at first with nobody out.
We saw how cold Noah Macabrota's bat was in that first round series against Toronto. That walk-off hit to clinch the series really kind of did something for him because he's been very good since. You mentioned 3 for 5 on Sunday in Hamilton, had a 2 RBI double, in fact, in that first inning, which ended up kind of being the difference in that game.
Yeah, if you missed Game 5, that is definitely worth a rewatch. A couple of really big moments in that game. You mentioned Macabrota's walk-off hit to win it, but also Adam Odd's 2-run homer that put Barrie back on top. They were trailing 3-2 in that game in the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Baycats there were 2 outs when Odd hit that home run too. So Barrie was 10 outs away from being eliminated. It could have been over that quickly.
Still the only postseason home run by the Baycats this year. Just that one by Adam Odd so far.
Yeah, hard to believe when your first series you played 2 games at Christie Pitts. You know, here at home for the other 3. This certainly isn't a home run hitter's park, but
it's funny you say that. I was having a conversation with Dylan Quinn, a videographer for Barrie, and he asked me what I think is the most pitcher-friendly park in the IBL, and I was very tempted to say this one.
It might be.
I think I might stick to that, too.
405 straightaway center, and we don't see many balls hit over center field. That one plunked Clark right in the back, so 2 on for the Baycats here with nobody out. And here comes Mr. Odd right now with a couple of runners on.
Because there's, without a doubt, the 2 most hitter-friendly parks are Toronto and Kitchener. But Barrie definitely has an argument to be the most pitcher-friendly.
Well, if not Barrie, London maybe.
London
a lot
maybe.
of low-scoring games there. Yeah, Labatt Memorial Park.
Guelph center field's kind of squared off.
Yeah.
So, you really got to hit the alleys if you want to, get those, doubles, possibly triples.
Odd shows bunt, pulls it back. That pitch was in tight, ball 1.
That corner's playing in here for Hamilton. The kind of that rotation was already on. Tommy Reyes-Cruz was charging towards first base with Kakados playing in front of the bag on that pitch. A big hole on that left side.
Odd shows bunt again, pulls it back, drives it to center field. That'll stay up there, though, for Tyler Duncan. Makes the catch, runner tags. And the Baycats will get runners on the corners. Clark stays at first, Macabrota to third, 1 out in the inning. Here's Noah Hall.
Well, Odd essentially does his job there, but only advances 1 runner.
Not a bad idea with nobody out in the inning.
Clark kind of bluffed a tag up from first. Would have been a very aggressive move, but Tyler Duncan has a great arm from center field.
Well, Odd was looking for a base hit to try to drive that runner in, or maybe find one of the alleys, but gets a runner up 90 feet and a low-scoring game early on here. That pitch sails way high to Hull, ball 1. Freezes Adames, 28-year-old Dominican. He mentioned his time in the Milwaukee Brewers organization, got as high as the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, one of my favorite minor league team names. Played there in 2021, a high A affiliate of the Brewers.
Pitched with Sussex County last year in the Frontier League.
I lived in the Midwest for about 3 years, and there was quite a rivalry at the time between the Rockford Cubbies, the Chicago Cubs high A affiliate, and the Beloit Snappers. That was, I guess, they're the Timber Rattlers now. I believe it's the same organization, but they played in Beloit, Wisconsin. And it was a state line rivalry. Throw down a second, the tag, got him, and staying at third is Macabrota. I thought for sure he was going to try to come in on the double steal. He didn't. And Clark is thrown out trying to steal.
We've seen these Baycats base runners get a lot more aggressive here in the postseason, including Tristan Clark, but I wonder if he might have done something to his leg. Coming off the bag, he had to kind of move around a bit more than usual for him. Hopefully he's okay.
So Hernandez with a huge throw out at second. 2 out in the inning. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Living in the Midwest gave me a really good idea of how fierce that Illinois-Wisconsin rivalry is. Bears-Packers in the NFL, and it extends right down to their minor league baseball teams, too. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hull. Some great pitching by Fries's Adamas as the Baycats strand a runner in the bottom of the second inning. We're still scoreless. Hamilton and Barrie here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Third inning in Barrie. It's the Cardinals and the Baycats scoreless. Ben Davy along with Julius Hern. Game 3 of this best-of-5 second-round series. 1 hit for each team. And it'll be veteran DH Matt Hildebrand to face Juan Benitez for the first time tonight. Yoki Pena due up behind him, and then back to the top of the order for Carlos Dominguez.
First game in this series for Hildebrand, and different DH for the Cardinals in the first 2 games. Started with Josh Williams and then Russell Young on Sunday.
Prior to Game 1, I had my usual pre-series interviews with Baycats manager Josh Matlow and Cardinals manager Luis Bernardo. Those interviews are posted on my personal Instagram page right now. I'm Ben Davy. You can follow me and watch those interviews if you like. That's the letter I, the letter M, Ben Davy, B-E-N-D-A-V-Y. And you and I were chatting before Game 1, Julius. You said to me, I wonder what Luis's take is on the John Salazzo situation. This is a guy with 15 years of service in the IBL. The player they traded Dennis DeBanning for, former Maple Leaf, but he had a previous stint in Hamilton, 2011 to 2014. So well-rooted in this league. And sources told us Salazzo was suspended by the team mid-season for the remainder of the year. He missed a weekend because of a family issue. Strike 3. Benitez gets Hildebrand for IMP North, 1 out in the inning. Missed a weekend because of a family issue, had some disagreements with Cardinals leadership. This sounds a lot like the Dustin Richardson situation that we were talking about in the last series. Different circumstances, obviously, but Cardinals ownership basically told him don't come back, and as a result, he's not playing in this series.
Yeah. I reached out to John, shortly after the news came out, because we were set to call a Cardinals game the last weekend of the regular season. I just asked him what his perspective was, and told me there was an incident. I won't get into it on the air because he asked me not to go into specifics, but it said him and Bernardo didn't see eye to eye, and something's happened, and he was asked not to come back for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Now, whether Luis Bernardo was directly involved in the suspension or not, I don't know. I felt it was a fair question to ask him, though, if he had an opinion on it, just to give him the opportunity to give his insight on the matter, because there's no question Cardinal fans would have loved to see John Salazzo play in the postseason.
And he would have been, so well matched up in this series.
To right center field, towards the gap, and it is over the head of Noel McGarry-Doyle, goes all the way to the wall, and in with a double is Yoki Pena. One out, runner at second, back to the top of the order for Carlos Dominguez. So Bernardo said to me, quote, "There is a big possibility that Salazzo comes back. They had to wait for him. They had tried to text him a couple of days before round 2, but he didn't respond, so they are waiting for him." That's what Luis Bernardo said to me. I cleaned up the English on that a little bit, but that's pretty much bang on what Bernardo said. And again, you can watch that response for yourself on the interview on my Instagram page. The next day, a message appears on my phone from John Salazzo, just like the Dustin Richardson story. And Salazzo took issue with Bernardo's version of the story. In front of the plate, Plumpton, the throw, not in time. So we got runners on the corners now for the Cardinals. John said, for the record, no one or Luis has texted me or messaged me. He called that a lie, saying, "I'm tired of them lying. Everybody in the league knows the player I am on and off the field," and he said that he's heartbroken and mad that he's not playing right now. Direct quote from Jonathan Salazzo.
Yeah, he told me as well that, he knows, and the fans would know too, that, he's a gamer. That guy wants to be on the field no matter what, and he's sad that he can't be here.
First pitch is inside.
And it's too bad because the first time the Cardinals were here in the regular season, it was, just a couple weeks into Salazzo's second stint with Hamilton, and I asked him how it feels to kind of be with Hamilton this time around, and he was loving it at the time. And he thought, they were treating him really well at that time, but that was obviously before the managerial change.
Called strike. Salazzo also told me that the Cardinals had promised him that if he didn't like it in Hamilton, they would release him. And he's hoping that'll be the case next season, and he's taking his time and keeping his options open right now, but certainly open to the possibility for playing somewhere else. Benitez checks on the runner. So I offered John an opportunity to elaborate further. As you mentioned, he said a lot to you as well, Julius, but really he just wanted to address the issue without saying too much. Players have to be careful, and we try to respect that as media, just like anyone. You don't want to say the wrong things and hurt yourself down the road. And having said that, we're media, so we're here whenever somebody has something to say. To short, to second for one, on to first. Double play! Baycats get out of the inning. 2.5 in the books. We're still scoreless here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Fort Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Third inning of play brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Freezes Adames out for inning number 3 to face the bottom of the Baycat order. Tyler Plumpton, Clayton Keys, and Noel McGarry-Doyle. And a scoreless tie, Hamilton and Barrie. Baycats and Maple Leafs played a lot of small ball in round 1 of the playoffs, which we didn't expect.
When a team struggles to put balls in play, it might be smart, as we've seen with the Baycats, to kind of revert to that strategy.
0-1 pitch. Plumpton hits it towards second. Scooped up by the shortstop. Nickel, throw to first in plenty of time for the out. So again, those looking for those interviews I did with Luis Bernardo and Josh Matlow, they are on my Instagram page. I am Ben Davy, the letter I, the letter M, BENDAVY. I did tag each team so that they could repost if they wish. Not that they have to, but certainly want to share the content with each ball club. And final thing I guess I wanted to say on this, obviously it's possible this series ends tonight, but if anybody from the Cardinals ownership or management wanted to reach out and provide some insight, certainly we're happy to provide that opportunity. And you can find me on my Instagram page and send along a message the same way John Salazzo did to get out the message that he wanted us to get out for him here tonight.
And as I mentioned, it would have been great to see Salazzo in this series. You know, he matches up really well with Barrie. He's the only one on the roster that's actually hit a home run against Juan Benitez, and in fact, he's done it twice. One of them was earlier this year.
Yeah, there's no question this Cardinals lineup looks a whole lot different with Jonathan Salazzo at third base, and then Jaden Brown could play another infield position, and you just have so many more options. Never mind one of the best hitters in the league and a guy who's played 15 years of career IBL ball. This one over the roof, or just off the top of the roof to our right.
Well, my interaction with him, he did tell me it's the first time in his career he'd ever had an issue with a coach.
Wow.
You know, and he wants to be on the field as badly as the fans want to see him too. He's very much a team-focused player.
Called strike 3. Clayton Keys caught looking, 2 out in the inning.
He knew it too. That was a great pitch from Adames.
My first question, no, actually, I guess it was my second question for Luis Bernardo, but it came before the Jonathan Salazzo question, was about the managerial change. Because Bernardo took over after about 22 games, I think it was, responded really well. The team went 7-1, 8 games after the change.
In fact, the first game of Bernardo's tenure as the manager was the Owen Boone no-hitter.
That's right. So obviously it had some impact on the team and the players. Not that the team was playing horribly under Chris Piano. They were a couple of games under 500. But I asked Luis Bernardo what he thought necessitated the managerial change and him stepping into that situation. And he cited a number of things, but the main thing he said it came down to was just young players and the need to be maybe a little more instructional with them, kind of a different approach to helping them learn the game. He said the team looked quite a bit different than it did a year ago, and just some fresh energy maybe that he was able to bring by taking over.
I asked him before game one as well, just if he thought that he'd be a manager this soon in his career, and he said he kind of had an idea that he would be.
McGarry Doyle hits it down the line to right field. It drops for a base hit. He'll hold it first as Dominguez fires the ball in, and the Baycats get a 2-out runner here in the bottom of the third inning.
Really just a seeing eye single there from Noah McGarry Doyle. Carlos Dominguez, very speedy right fielder. You know, McGarry made a smart move to kind of let that one drop, but it also extends this inning for Adames against the top of the lineup.
Well, you know, Luis Bernardo is very proud. He told me he's very proud of the way his team played in the second half and responded to a lot of the off-field turmoil and changes that happened, and were able to hold their own against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, a pretty tough first-round opponent, but put up some big offensive numbers against that club. And hard to explain what's going on here in round 2 with just 1 run so far in 2 games and 3 innings.
Before Hamilton scored in the 8th inning on Sunday, they were held scoreless for 19 innings. That includes the end of Game 4 against Chatham-Kent.
Called strike to Brandon Hernandez. So these Cardinal bats have just gone stone cold, and give lots of credit to the Baycats pitching staff as well. They've been phenomenal. Cesar Rosado, Frank Garces, and Juan Benitez here tonight.
Really been the story of the team.
Runner goes. Pitches outside, the throw down, and the ball gets away. It goes into center field. Up another 90 feet goes Noel McGarry Doyle. He's in third with 2 out now.
Second time we've seen that in this park. with an error by Yammer Hernandez on a potential, stolen base play where the throw goes into center field and it allows a Baycats base runner to move up.
Brandon Hernandez will wait for a 1-2 pitch from Freeze's Adamas to try to get Barrie on the board. Here it comes. On the ground, foul. And we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In fact, it happened on Sunday as well. Late in that game in the 7th inning, it actually ended up leading to a run. Noel McGarry-Doyle, he dove into second base. So I was curious to see how quick his reaction was, but it was actually very fast reaction to get to third.
Here's the pitch to right field, and fair ball! It'll drop for a base hit, and in to score Barrie's first run is Noel McGarry-Noel. 1-0 Baycats in the third.
Like I mentioned, we saw on Sunday, that error from Hernandez leads to a run. This Cardinals defense really hurting their pitchers early on in these ball games. Another potential unearned run for a Cardinal starter.
Five errors in game 2. They had their ace on the mound that afternoon, Owen Boone. Unfortunately, the defense not able to help him out at all.
Especially in a game like that where Boone was not relying on strikeouts earlier on. He didn't have a strikeout until the 4th inning.
Pitch from Adamas is up high and a little inside, 1-1.
But credit to this Baycats lineup for these strong 2-out approaches. Yet again, another opportunity for them to keep an inning alive, and they do it with the top of the order coming back around to get things going again.
Adamas looks in, kicks, delivers. Popped up, and that's going to be out of play as well. It'll be a 1-2 count. One nothing Baycats, bottom of the 3rd inning. Nolan Macabrota on deck, hopeful for an at-bat if Francisco can keep things going here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Adamas. 3rd of the game, but the Baycats get on the board. 1-0 Barrie through 3 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, and our Baycats TV crew at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Just joining us, it is Game 3 of this best-of-5 second-round series between the Cardinals and the Baycats. Barrie with a chance to clinch tonight and advance to the IBL Championship Series for the 2nd straight year. Juan Benitez pitching well for Barrie so far, out for his 4th inning of work. Brandon Nickel will come to the plate. First pitch is inside.
Well, Benitez, he's given up 3 hits, but all 3 have been, relatively weak contact. Aside from that double from Pena, an infield single from Nickel, another from Dominguez.
Another foul ball behind us. The third inning ended with a ground ball double play off the bat of Nico Kakatos. Cardinals had 2 base runners that inning.
I think that's what's smart about the way Benitez pitches. He's not going to overpower you with his velocity. He's not looking for strikeouts. He'll get them, but he's very much focused on getting his defensive outs.
2 balls and 1 strike now.
This is his 5th season with the Baycats. He knows how to trust his defense very well.
Right to second base. Hernandez catches a line drive, 1 out.
Center fielder number 5, Tyler Duncan.
The Cardinals had 3 hits in game 1, 11 hits in game 2, but only able to scrape out 1 run out of those 11 hits. So the lack of timely hitting was the problem on Sunday afternoon.
They had base runners in every inning except the first and 7th, so the first and last innings that Garces pitched.
That pitch is up high to Tyler Duncan.
Stranded 2 in that second inning, but that was the only inning in which they had multiple base runners off of Barry's starter.
Duncan to left field, and right there to make the catch is Kristen Clark for the out. Cardinals as a team through 6 playoff games hitting .311. Substantially better than their .261 regular season batting average. Some really good hitting in the Chatham-Kent series, as we mentioned, and just unable to get the run production here in the second round.
Yeah, a lot of that's thanks to the Baycats defense making some great plays on Sunday in Hamilton. You mentioned the one by Brandon Hernandez, a diving catch in that 6th inning, or pardon me, the 2nd inning. In the 6th inning, Noel McGarry-Doyle made a diving catch in right center field, which likely saved a run. Kept Frank Garces' shutout intact, and he went 7 scoreless innings.
1-1 the count. There's a foul ball to our right, and that's out of play. Count 1 and 2.
50-50 ticket will help you replace your windshield.
Yammer Hernandez, 0 for 1. And he hits this one to center field. Noel McGarry-Doyle over to his left. Takes it for the out. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 4th inning. Still 1-0 Baycats. On Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie and Cable 14 in Hamilton. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Fourth inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Nolan Macabrota for the Baycats here at the bottom of the fourth inning. Tristan Clark, Adam on to follow. Barrie on the board, 1-0 on an RBI single by Brandon Hernandez to bring home Noel McGarry-Doyle. This crowd here tonight ready to party. Hoping the Baycats can punch their ticket to the IBL Championship Series for the second straight year.
Third straight year.
Oh, you're right, third straight year. Trying for their second straight championship. First pitch strike to Macabrota. And the end of that Well and Jackfish series was so forgettable, it just slipped my mind completely. Here's the pitch. Called strike.
And it's interesting, if they win tonight, their next opponent would be either one of the two teams they faced either of the last 2 years, Welland or Guelph.
It'll be a rematch one way or another. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one sails high.
Won that series between the Royals and Jackfish, tied at 1. This is game 3 for their series, also on the go right now. Guelph up 2-1 at the pond, top of the fourth.
Well, the Royals upset them last year and got to the championships against Barrie. They're looking to do it again and rewrite the script against the Baycats here in 2025. Yeah. That one outside to Macabrota. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He hands the ball to Hernandez.
In that pitching matchup at the pond tonight, Antonio Frias and Ben Abram.
Two and two. Macabrota waggles the bat. Freezes Adamas, gets the sign. Rocks into the full windup and delivers. Swing and a miss. Macabrota goes down with a big cut.
Bit of a reaching swing there from Nolan Macabrota, and he was behind that pitch from Adamas. Really had no chance. Yeah. Outside part of the zone, plus couldn't get the timing correct.
So here comes Tristan Clark with Adam on deck. Clark was hit by a pitch and caught stealing. Hits this one over third. Down the line. Fair ball! Into left field. Pena throws it in. And in with a double is Tristan Clark. Second time this evening he's reached base.
How clutch has Tristan Clark's bat been for the Baycats in this postseason? As I mentioned, he's very much a lead by example player in this lineup, even in his rookie year in the IBL. But he proves it with his performance, and another extra base hit for him in these playoffs.
Adam on flied out in the second inning. 0 for 5 in game 2. The only Baycat in that order that was not able to get a hit in that game on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it was 0 for 5. Ended up reaching on an error in the late in the game.
Had the clutch home run in game 5 against Toronto, but otherwise struggling in the postseason, hitting 160. Swings and misses.
Yeah, he was out front of that pitch for sure. Called time before that pitch to try and bring Adamas a bit out of his rhythm, especially with a runner on second base, which can be really stressful for a pitcher.
Well, despite his recent struggles at the plate, with the game on the line, Adam Odd is on a very short list of players I would want at the plate with a winning run on. This guy seems to deliver time and time again in the clutch. Swings and misses. Chased one down in the dirt. A bad swing by Odd, 1 and 2. We should mention the newly married Ryan Rio is in the Baycats dugout tonight. Congratulations to him and Jenna.
I'm very happy for the Rios.
Saw some pictures and videos. Looks like everybody had a good time at the Rio wedding on Saturday night. Swing and a miss by Odd. He goes down 2 away. Back 2 strikeouts here in the inning for Adamas.
I think also a key thing for a lot of the Baycats players. I know Noah Hall, Noel McGarry-Doyle, Noah Macabrota, Josh Matlow, even among many at that wedding from the team. But they stayed responsible. Were able to get a big win the very next day on Sunday in Hamilton,
and an afternoon game too. So I'm sure the thought crossed some people's minds. I wonder how late that Rio wedding is going to go on Saturday night. But the players showed up ready to play on Sunday. The ball behind Hernandez. He's looking around for it, but Clark isn't going anywhere.
I don't think Clark noticed how spun around Hernandez was looking for that baseball, because he was kind of on his way back to second base as Hernandez was spinning around, still couldn't find it. And at that point, too late to even try to advance.
2 out in the inning. Swing and a miss.
You're talking about the wedding being the very day before Game 2. I know a lot of people on the Cardinal side, knowing that wedding was taking place on Saturday, hoping that it would have an effect on the Baycats in Game 2.
Ball to the backstop. Hernandez back to get it. Up to third goes Tristan Clark. So consider this: if Clark had have taken third on that previous one that got away, he might have scored there.
Yeah, on the first one where he didn't advance, you see the reaction from Andrew White, third base coach. I think he's also telling him here he had an opportunity at that moment, but still 90 feet away from scoring, even with 2 out.
Two balls, 1 strike. Noah Hull. He is ready. Adames kicks and deals. High and away, 3-1. Tyler Plumpton on deck, wearing the shin guards.
We know Hull was really struggling through that first round series and a bit in Game 1, but had 3 hits on Sunday.
3-1 pitch. Bounces up to the plate. Here comes Clark. Hernandez back on it. He scores! 2-0 Barrie. Hull aboard with a walk. And here comes Tyler Plumpton.
Couple wild pitches in this inning, really hurting Freesis Adames. You got runners in scoring position, you really got to be careful not to take any crazy risks like that. And it was like maybe fastballs that were too low of a release point out of the hand of Adames, and it costs him.
First pitch to Plumpton, he's swinging, hits it weakly behind the bag at first, it drops for a base hit! Rounding second is Hull, he'll stop at third, and the Baycats have runners on the corners.
Was speaking with Tristan Clark before today's game and talking about how underappreciated Tyler Plumpton is at the plate. He may not be the fleetest of foot, but the way he can put bat on the ball and place singles like that, just kind of out of the way of the defense, Tommy Reyes-Cruz, a long way to go to even have a chance at it. Very simple swing from Tyler Plumpton, but he gets the job done with 2 out.
Well, sometimes those softly, well-placed hits just over the bag at first or third is all you need to get the job done, and that's what Plumpton did there on the right side. 2 on, 2 out. Number 9 hitter Clayton Keys got a hold of that one, but well foul. Sounded good off the bat.
Keys didn't play on Sunday. Bit of an off day for him and kind of a half off day. He was telling me even in the DH spot today, but told me before Game 1 really much of a revenge tour in this series because, former Cardinal trying to get back at his former team.
Called strike. Another former Cardinal, Ramon Enriquez, came on to pitch in Game 1 and did outstanding work in relief of Cesar Rosado. Fired up against his former team as well. Runner goes. And strike 3. Foul tip into the mitt. But the Baycats get another run. They make it a 2-0 game through 4 innings here in Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie, Cable 14, and Hamilton.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the fifth inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. It's a 2-0 lead in the series and in the game for the Barrie Baycats over the Hamilton Cardinals, and a win tonight would clinch their third consecutive IBL Finals berth against either the Welland Jackfish or Guelph Royals, who are also playing Game 3 of their series as we speak. Tommy Reyes-Cruz to lead off against Juan Benitez. The first pitch is just high.
Now the Cardinals, of course, want to win to give us another game tomorrow at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium in Hamilton.
Swings and misses through that pitch.
A Baycat win would give them plenty of rest before Game 1 of the IBL Finals, which is scheduled for Saturday. The only question is, will it be here or will it be in Welland?
A little tap or foul on the right side towards the Baycats dugout.
So if it's Guelph, that game is here. If it's Welland, the game is in Welland. But either way, it'll be on Saturday. So that gives the Baycats a chance to reset their pitching rotation and get everybody rested up and ready for the series opener.
1-2 just outside. And that instance, you wouldn't have to go to Cesar Rosado right away, who would be next in line to start tomorrow potentially for Barrie against the Cardinals. But, could have Frank Garces go in Game 1 of the IBL Finals. Another one upstairs. Count is now full.
Yeah, the obvious choice would be Garces because you can use him in 1, 4, and 7. It's a best-of-7 series, so that gives your ace the extra start if necessary. Although the way Cesar Rosado is pitched, if you needed him in Game 1, I wouldn't have a lack of confidence.
Leadoff walk drawn by Tommy Reyes-Cruz. First one issued here by Benitez, and now his fifth inning.
There were a lot of questions about Rosado based on his last couple of regular season appearances, and he was struggling with a little bit of tightness as well, but pitched very well in his start in the Toronto series, went 4 innings, and Josh Matlow extended that to 6 innings for him in Game 1 of this series, and Rosado pitched about as well as you could expect.
He had a career-high 13 strikeouts. The first pitch to Jaden Brown is inside. Benitez having a hard time finding the strike zone early in these counts.
So any one of these 3 guys for Game 1, I think you're feeling pretty good with them, but obviously with Frank Garces being the ace, you'd like to have him get that extra start in Game 7 if it came down to it.
1-0 and a big swing and a miss by Brown. And obviously for the Baycats last year, it worked perfectly because they didn't lose a game in the playoffs.
No.
They didn't really have to worry about setting your rotation in any specific manner. It just kind of fell into place. Garces with 4 starts, 1 in each of the first 2 rounds, and then games 1 and 4 in the finals against Guelph.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-man rotation, and they won the first 2 rounds in 3 games. And then in the finals against Guelph, they won that in 4 games, so Frank started Game 1 and Game 4. So you had your ace starting the first game of each series, and then the one that you eventually won.
And obviously the Baycats, the beneficiary of the other semifinal last year, going 5 games. That one on the ground is short, having to back up on it. It's Brandon Hernandez. 1 play to first, and it's in time to get Jaden Brown, but Reyes-Cruz moves up to second.
Boy, that was a tough play for Hernandez because he did have to back up about a half a step, taking that on the short hop. And with his momentum going the opposite direction, was able to get himself in position to plant and get a strong throw across.
So no chance to get Reyes-Cruz on the force at second. So a runner in scoring position here for Matt Hildebrandt who led off the third with a strikeout his first time up. And I know the sentiment, going back to the rotation, I know the sentiment from the rest of these Baycats, they want the other series to go 5 games. They want Guelph and Welland to go at each other for the distance, which was the case last year. The road team won all 5 games of that semifinal matchup in 2024, which gave the Baycats a few extra days of rest before game 1 of the finals. 0-1 outside to Hildebrandt. Reyes Cruz at second. 1-1 here to Matt Hildebrandt. Fly ball right center field. Should be an easy play for Noah Hull, who makes the catch, but Tommy Reyes Cruz will tag up and head to third base.
Well, Hildebrandt is a big bat with a lot of power, and in the lineup tonight just to sort of give this Cardinals offense a bit of a different look. They have been struggling, no question. 1 run through their first 2 games. Still looking to get a run here in this game 3 of this series, and Hildebrandt with some pop in his bat can hit the ball a long way when he connects.
It was Hildebrandt's first appearance at the playoffs. His last game was a final regular season game against Brantford, a late inning loss for the Cardinals. First pitch to Yoki Pena is a called strike.
Pena hit in the number 7 spot Sunday afternoon, dropped to the number 9 position in the order here today.
Seen a couple shuffles here from Luis Bernardo with his lineup. Even at the top of the order. Another called strike on Pena.
Well, these are short playoff series, and when things aren't going right, there's no point in rolling the same thing out there again and again and again. Margin of error is so short, and you don't have much time to figure out something that's going to work.
0-2 to Pena, swung on and missed. Inning-ending strikeout for Juan Benitez. It's brought to you by IMP North. He gets out of another jam here in the 5th inning. Baycats still lead 2-0 here in Game 3 of the IBL semifinals on Baycats TV.
Fans from Fort Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Bottom of the 5th inning brought to you by One-Eyed Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after the game and get 10% off your bill.
Julius Hern, Ben Davy along with you. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. 2-0 lead for the Barrie Baycats. And the top of the order due up here against Freesis Adamus going into inning number 5. He's allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. First pitch is a bunt right in front of the home plate. Tough play for Dominguez. The throw sails past first base and into right. Noel McGarry-Doyle, he's going to go for third. A long throw for Dominguez. And McGarry-Doyle gets to third base to start off this 5th inning.
Well, Yomer Hernandez kind of sidearmed that throw, and it was off the line and went to the worst possible spot, all the way down in front of the Baycat bullpen. By the time anybody could get there, the speedy Noel McGarry Doyle was rounding second on his way to third.
So scored a single and an error by Hernandez. Second error by Hernandez in this game, and the first one really cost Adames in the third inning, which let McGarry Doyle score after throwing into center field on a stolen base attempt. Infield in now for Brandon Hernandez. He lines that one off the glove of Jaden Brown at third into left field. McGarry Doyle will score, and it's 3-0 Barrie.
Hard hit ball that'll probably be ruled a base hit. The one that Brown probably could have caught, though. It didn't miss his glove by much. But because it was hit so hard, he had to react quickly. And the ball just missed his glove.
It is scored a base hit. And a second RBI of the game here for Brandon Hernandez, and brings up his brother Francisco. First pitch by Adames is up high.
Well, if the Cardinals lose this series and fans years from now look back on 2025 and wonder what went wrong with that Hamilton Cardinals team in that playoff series against Barrie. 11 errors.
Deep drive into left center field. That ball is gone! A 2-run home run for Francisco Hernandez. Blows this game open. It's 5-0.
Well, this is exactly what the Baycats were looking to do, get a big inning and build a comfortable lead against a team that is struggling offensively. And a monster shot gives Barrie their biggest lead.
Yolki Pena and Tyler Duncan barely moved out in left and center field, knowing that ball was well past the outfield fence in that left center field gap. Second home run of the postseason by a Baycats hitter, first for Francisco Hernandez. A bit of a clean slate here for Adames now. First pitch to Nolan Macabrota's outside. 5-0 Barrie now here in the fifth inning. Already a 3-run inning, each of the first three batters scoring. Fly ball, left field. Yolki Pena doesn't have to move much. He makes the catch, 1 out.
That ball went a lot deeper than it looked off the bat.
Fielder number 6, Tristan.
A little bit of movement now in the Hamilton bullpen. This is a do-or-die game for them. Adames has surrendered a 5-run deficit now.
Tristan Clark up now with 1 out. First pitch is up high. Hit by a pitch and singled. Later scored in the fourth inning on a wild pitch. Adames really trying to work quickly here after that first out. Ground ball foul on the left side, just off the end of the bat of Clark. Ben, you were mentioning earlier, fans wondering what was going wrong here with this Cardinals team. And a team that hasn't had this kind of postseason success, even winning a round. It really just seems like it's kind of foreign to this organization just in recent years. And obviously the expectation's high as the appeal down to first. No swing for Clark.
Yeah, high expectations because of the offseason signings. A lot of hype over a handful of players that joined this team here in 2025, and a lineup that has great potential offensively when everybody's firing.
Swing and a miss by Clark. It's 2-2 as his elbow guard flies off.
There were some questions with the pitching, but certainly the addition of Owen Boone gave them that workhorse as the ace of the staff.
So many great offseason signings for this Cardinals team. Owen Boone, Jonathan Salazzo, they get in the trade with the Maple Leafs. They bring in Fernando Rodney, obviously that one making national news. And then a couple other really nice pieces as well. I mentioned Tommy Reyes-Cruz. And then a couple mid-season acquisitions. On the ground to short, Brendan Nickel will throw on to first. It's in time for out number 2.
But again, it doesn't matter how well your team is hitting. It's going to be awfully hard to win a series when your team defense commits 11 errors in 2.5 games. The 4 errors in game 1, 5 in game 2, and now 2 here tonight. Gives them 11. And that's just unacceptable for postseason baseball.
Adam Odd up here. He lines that one on the ground. Snared by Reyes Cruz. The throw into first is in time, and a stretch there by Nico Kakatos to complete the out. But 3 runs come across. McGarry Doyle reaching, and then a 2-run homer by Francisco Hernandez, making it a 5-0 Baycats lead as we enter the 6th inning here in Game 3 on Baycats TV.
The Baycats in the 5th inning, 3 runs.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
We're into the 6th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium along with Ben Davy. I'm Julius Hern, and a 3-run 5th for Barrie has given Juan Benitez a little bit more of a cushion to pitch with. Trying to shut down this Cardinals lineup once again and advance to Barrie's 3rd consecutive IBL finals.
Right fielder number 30, Carlos Dominguez.
Back to the top of the order for Hamilton. Carlos Dominguez 1 for 2 here against Benitez. I see a lot more action in that Cardinal bullpen stir after a big home run by Francisco Hernandez. First pitch to Dominguez, a called strike.
Mentioned earlier how much these Baycats players will enjoy the extra rest. If they can wrap this thing up here tonight, I think broadcasters might enjoy a little bit of extra rest as well.
On the ground to short, Brandon Hernandez comes up firing, and he makes the first out of the inning to Nolan Macabrota.
You were in Hamilton for the Game 2 call on Sunday afternoon, and both of us, I think, are planning on going tomorrow if Hamilton wins and Game 4 is necessary. A lot of travel when the IBL postseason rolls around. Fortunately, the Baycats haven't had too many kilometers with a couple of relatively close teams geographically.
Carlos Dominguez was jogging a little bit gingerly on his way around home plate back to the Cardinal dugout. Nico Kakatos, first pitch to him is a called strike. He was 4 for 4 on Sunday. Moves up to the number 2 spot from the number 6 spot and drove in Hamilton's only run of the series so far. 0-1, he swings and misses.
Yeah, going back to that 3rd inning, that double play was a real saver for Juan Benitez. Could have had a little bit of trouble to deal with in that 3rd, but
the 0-2 popped foul on the right side out of play.
Really the closest opportunity Hamilton has had to getting on the board. They stranded a walk in the 5th inning.
Another 0-2. That one's popped up. Looks like it's playable. Foul territory. Nolan Macabrota steps back and makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, it is gut check time for this Cardinals team, and you got 3 pretty big bats coming up here. Brandon Nickel, Tyler Duncan, Yomer Hernandez. Something's got to get going here.
Shortstop number 32, Brandon Nickel.
And they really need the heart of the order to get things going here. Those 3 have combined 0 for 6 in their first 2 plate appearances each. Sorry, 1 for 6.
First pitch to Nichols, a called strike. He has one of just 3 Cardinal hits in this game so far. Barrie 5 runs on 8 hits, but aided by a couple Cardinal errors. pop up again, right side, this one in fair territory, and it's going to drift over to Noah Hall in right field to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 frame for Juan Benitez. Cardinals still scoreless through 6 innings. Barrie leads it 5-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here. Game 3 of the IBL semifinals on Baycats TV.
Danielle May to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Bottom of the 6th inning is brought to you by Moving.ca. 2 small men with big hearts moving. Your original Canadian 2-men movers. When you think 2 men, think with big hearts. Your Canadian choice.
Julius, Hern, Ben Davy along with you. We are into the Cardinals bullpen now. Right-hander Casey Bouyer-Howard taking over for Freesis Adamas.
Bouyer-Howard, 32-year-old Brantford native. He's been in this league a long time. Broke into the IBL with the Brantford Red Sox.
His first pitch to Noah Hull was a called strike.
Has since played for the Burlington Herd, stayed with the franchise as they moved to Welland, and stuck with the Welland Jackfish until 2024.
Was a champion on that team in 2023, clinching it here in Barrie. 1-1 now on Hull. That pitch just misses.
Last pitched in the Chatham-Kent loss, the 1 game Hamilton lost in that series, that 7-6 game. He worked an inning of relief on August 23rd.
1-1 on the ground. Fair ball. Just stays over the bag. Tough play for Kakatos, and Hull's going to beat it out. Bounced up off the glove of Nico Kakatos at first base, off his chest, and it's going to go down, it looks like, as a base hit for Noah Hull.
Great job by Hull to get a good jump out of the box. He had no way of knowing that Kakatos was going to mishandle that ball, and suddenly create an opportunity to get down there safely. Bouyer-Howard was late on the cover, and Hull was able to beat him to the bag.
So it does go down as an infield single for Noah Hull. Brings up Tyler Plumpton with nobody out. Shows bunt, pops it up, and it's going to drop foul, rolling towards the Cardinal dugout.
Well, bunting with a 5-run lead. That tells you the Baycats don't want to take anything for granted here against this Hamilton Cardinals club. They want every base runner to count here.
They want to put pressure on Bouyer-Howard on early.
Well, he was slow getting to first base to cover the bag on that previous play, so why not force him off the mound again?
Plumpton shows bunt again. The pitch is wild off to the backstop. Hull moves up to second.
And Bouyer-Howard saying, that's on me. That ball just got away from him way outside.
You know, well into that left-hand batter's box, and it's going to be a tough play to try and knock it down for Yammer Hernandez. Bit of a more advantageous situation for Plumpton if he wants to bunt, but not showing right away. The 1-1, he shows bunt and pops it foul. It's going to get off the screen behind home plate. It's 1-2.
Likely won't be bunting here with 2 strikes, but I always like that play where you square to bunt, pull the bat back, and try to slap it by the defense after drawing them in. Chance here now for Plumpton to just swing away and try to drive in the run with a base hit.
One, two, Blair Howard comes set. That long look at Hall at second base, and his pitch is in the dirt. Blair Howard, 11 relief appearances in the regular season, a 10.92 ERA in 14 innings. He allowed 28 hits and 9 walks, so well over his whip, well over 2 in the regular season with just 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, never worked more than 2 innings in any of his appearances this year. It'll be interesting to see how many innings Luis Bernardo wants to get out of him here tonight. A little bit of movement in the Cardinal bullpen, but nobody throwing at the moment. Just some stretching.
At this rate, you might see Blair Howard only get 1 inning, especially if the Baycats can keep this pressure on. Runner at second, nobody out, 2-2 to Plumpton. He fouls that one off. Looks like he got jammed a little bit.
Well, obviously in a do-or-die game, literally everybody has to be available. All hands on deck. There is no tomorrow if you can't win tonight. And the Cardinals face a huge 5-run hole right now against the Barrie Baycats. So manager Luis Bernardo will use anybody that he needs for sure in this situation.
2-2, Plumpton pokes it off the glove of Blair Howard. Reyes Cruz throws it on to first in time for the out. Hall moves up to third base. So Plumpton essentially gets the sacrifice done to move Hall 90 feet further.
Designated hitter number 43, Clayton Keys.
Yeah, the sacrifice 1-4-3 ground out. Hull gets to third, so 90 feet away, still just 1 out of the inning. Keys has struck out twice tonight, so you know he'd love to come through with a big moment at the plate here.
The former Cardinal, time is called, it looks like, by Blair Howard. Infield in on the edge of the infield turf for Hamilton. 1 out, runner on third. Pitch to Keys, that's a called strike. You're talking about the bullpen availability for the Cardinals. After Owen Boone's 5 2/3 Sunday, Bernardo only used Logan Workington and Chris Bowato for 3 1/3 innings total. Workington went 2 1/3, Bowato 1. On the ground to short, snared by Nickel. He's going to try home plate, and it's caught by Hernandez. They got Hall in a pickle. Off to Brown, who tags out Hall in between third and home, and obviously upset with that outcome.
Yeah, a great move to go home and get Noah Hall, who was hung out to dry. And Hall, best he could do was put himself in a rundown situation and hope for a mistake. And why not? Against a team that's committed 11 errors, you never know. You're going to get a drop throw or a wild throw or something like that. But the Cardinals executed that about as perfectly as you can.
That's exactly why you move the infield fully in. They obviously can't afford to give up any more runs, down 5-0. Puts Keys on base for the first time on a fielder's choice. So runner on first, 2 out. Noel McGarry Doyle, ground ball to the right side. Tommy Reyes Cruz backs up, and throw on to first is in time. So Blair Howard gets out of a bit of a jam thanks to some smart defense. Still 5-0 Barrie as we enter the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the mic to call the rest of this one for you on Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Barrie Baycats 9 outs away from punching their ticket to the 2025 IBL Championship Series. Hamilton Cardinals with their backs against the wall, trailing 5-0, out to face Juan Benitez, who's out for his 7th inning of work here tonight.
When Juan Benitez faced Hamilton earlier this year, he held the Cardinals to just 2 runs, ended up taking the loss despite a 7-inning outing. And that was a real strong pitching matchup. It was Benitez and Adames. But obviously the Baycats getting the best of Adames early on with some help from some poor defense.
The struggling Tyler Duncan at the plate swings and misses through a fastball. 2 fly balls to left field tonight off his bat. Ground ball to short. Hernandez with a throw. It's high, but it's there for the out. 1 down.
Tyler Duncan really struggling. Unlike him, we saw him, MVP form is very consistent. Obviously, winning that award in 2023, but after great success in the first round, he was 6 for 18 with a home run against Chatham-Kent. He's only got 1 hit in this series, and that was a lucky scoring decision, I would say, on Sunday. And in Hamilton, I probably would have scored that an error by Brandon Hernandez late in the game.
This one hit to left field, and it's right at Tristan Clark. 2 quick outs for Juan Benitez here in the 7th.
Second baseman, number 25.
Tyler Duncan now 1 for 10 in this series with a walk and a run. Not the kind of form that Cardinals fans are used to seeing him with.
A lot of swings early in at-bats by the Cardinals here, and I'm wondering if they might slow things down just a little bit here. They know Juan Benitez is getting up in pitch count and late innings here, and haven't scored yet off him. Why not try to force some deep counts and just get some base runners?
And nobody warming in the Baycats bullpen yet either.
And that's exactly what Tommy Reyes-Cruz seems to be doing here. Gets a 2-0 count.
And you can see Benitez really taking his time there. It's taking a couple moments at the back of the mound.
And a called strike to Reyes-Cruz.
Looks like Blair Howard will be out for his 2nd inning. Still nobody throwing after him in the Cardinal bullpen.
Down the line foul. Reyes-Cruz led off the 5th with a walk. They weren't able to get him home. Cardinals stranded a runner in the 1st and 2 in the 3rd.
And that walk to Reyes-Cruz, the only base runner Benitez has allowed since the 3rd.
Fly ball, center field. McGarry Doyle tracking it. And he's got it for the catch. And a 3-up, 3-down 7th for Juan Benitez. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Barrie on top, 5-0. Game 3. 2nd round IBL playoff series.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Seventh inning of play at Athletic Kulture Stadium is brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know.
Brandon Hernandez will lead it off for the Barrie Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Both Hernandez brothers due up, and Nolan Macabrota to follow. The Baycats up 5-0. Ready to party here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. 6 outs away from a trip to the IBL Championships.
Yeah, an energetic heave away from the fans here in that 7th inning stretch as we see a bit more action in the bullpen now after that 7th inning closeout from Benitez.
Well, considering he's worked 7 innings tonight, Benitez has been very efficient with his pitches. The Cardinals have been very aggressive at the plate, swinging early in at bats.
Brad Grieveson warming up for Barrie.
0-1 on the way. Hit weakly off the inside of his right foot, or instep, and he'll walk it off.
It looked like he's got off the inside of the bat on that swing. Seems like Hernandez is okay. I was telling you in that half-inning break there, I think Benitez is primed to go out for another inning of work. He's only at 84 pitches, and he's only had 16 pitches in the last 3 innings. How efficient is that?
Can't ask for anything more. That one is down low, 1-2.
And a lot of bodies in the Hamilton bullpen, but nobody throwing.
Brad Grieveson threw 2/3 of an inning against Toronto, did not allow an earned run. A strikeout and a walk. Here's the pitch. High and away. Count is even. Got 3 Baycats pitchers who have not allowed an earned run yet in the playoffs. Brad Grieveson, as mentioned, Adam Kahn worked 2 scoreless innings, and Braden Pakala also 2 scoreless innings and 2 appearances. To third, foul ball. Count holds at 2-2. You have 6 Baycats pitchers with ERAs under 2 in the playoffs so far. Enriquez, Garces, and Rosado are all under 2 earned runs per 9 innings as well. Fly ball, right center, and the catch is made in right field by Carlos Dominguez. 2 out in the inning.
Second baseman number 0, Francisco Hern.
Sorry, 1 out. Hernandez bats.
A lot of balls hit to the pull side for Brandon Hernandez. As I mentioned earlier, very much an opposite field hitter.
Francisco Hernandez, 2-run homer. Gave Barrie a comfortable lead in the 5th. His brother Brandon and Noel McGarry Doyle also scoring in that 3-run 5th inning, blowing Barrie's lead up to 5-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Uyer Howard looks, kicks and delivers, called strike.
Crowds really stuck it out for this game, even on a school night, as we were talking about earlier.
Here's the pitch, outside. 3-2, good at bat here by Francisco Hernandez. 2-2, excuse me. On the ground, down the line, foul. Remember in high school, those first period spare classes were really great for sports viewing, playoffs, and those late nights at the ballpark, and
I can attest to that.
getting home late. Always nice to be able to start your day around 10:30 or so.
Yeah.
Well, the elementary school kids aren't so lucky. 2-2 called strike 3. Big strikeout from Pierre Howard, 2 away.
And the first K for him on the outing. He's retired each of his last 5.
Number 20, Nolan Macabrota.
Nolan Macabrota, 1 for 3. Has a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. Bats with nobody on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-0 Barrie. 9-3 the hits in favor of the Baycats. Swings and misses. Home run cut. Chased a high one. Strike 1.
Well, just with that swing, you know Macabrota wants to put an exclamation mark on this game for Barrie. 9 hits already on with 5 runs to show for their offense tonight.
Pitch from Pierre Howard, and Macabrota connects on that one. Hits it high, but it'll stay in the park. Back on it, the center fielder making the catch just to the left side of that light standard is Tyler Duncan. And the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down. So some good pitching by Pierre Howard to get out of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th now with Barrie up 5-0.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
A festive crowd tonight at Athletic Kulture Stadium, hoping to party as the Baycats are now 6 outs away from winning round 2 of this best-of-5 playoff series against the Hamilton Cardinals. Jaden Brown will have something to say about that as he comes to bat here against Juan Benitez, out for his 8th inning of work here tonight. He'll face the bottom of the order. Brown, Hildebrandt, and Pena all due up.
That last pitch number 85 for Benitez on the game so far.
High fly ball down the line, foul territory, and right over near the Barrie bullpen it bounces.
Well, Noah Hall really gave that a great chase. He was maybe 3 or 4 strides from actually making that catch, and he had to come up and brace himself on the bench of that Baycats dugout, as you see there.
He didn't give up on it, and there's a lot of foul territory between the line and the bullpen, so why not give it a chase? You never know. Wind is calm right now, but we've seen balls blow back in to foul territory that looked like maybe they were headed for the stands.
2-1 in the bottom.
Benitez with a 2-1 pitch. Another fly ball. Right field, Hall going back, and it's gone. The Cardinals get on the board on a solo shot by Jaden Brown. 5-1 Barrie.
Well, he gave that first pitch that was fouled off a ride pretty deep to right field, and the opposite field power coming through again, and that's going to be a nice piece of hitting to get some energy in that Cardinals dugout, but they're still down by 4.
Yeah, 2 well-hit balls off Juan Benitez, and here's a guy that can park one as well, Matt Hildebrand. Don't be deceived by his number 8 spot in the order. Now, if Benitez is losing a little on his fastball, this could be trouble. This one deep to left field. Back is Clark, makes the catch. Clearly, these hitters are starting to catch up to Juan now in this 8th inning.
Well, you mentioned the half-inning break. It really seems like the approach from these Cardinals hitters are very aggressive. They're swinging at pitches early in counts. But obviously that long ball by Jaden Brown just trying to give anything to this Cardinal offense.
Showing bunt is Pena, he pulls it back. There is a chance, it's very unlikely, but there is a chance we get this game done in less than 2 hours tonight. We're 12 minutes shy of the 2-hour mark. These would have to be some pretty quick outs, but it could happen.
Well, we were talking about the way Benitez was pitching his previous 3 innings. Before this one, the 7th, 6th, and 5th, he only needed 16 pitches. He's had 1 strikeout in that span.
Pena showing bunt again, pulls it back 3-0. Yeah, if I'm a Hamilton hitter, I'm just trying to get as deep an account here as I can. Wait for Benitez to make a mistake and try to get a hold of one. Called strike. Pena thought he had ball 4. 1 out in the 8th. Benitez working very quickly. Delivers. Called strike. And Pena again trying to sell it, and that time he got about halfway down to first base. Dropped the bat.
And not just that, but he was showing bunt early on, and that gives the defense a little bit chance to relax here now with the full count. Adam Ott obviously moved a few shades back at third.
Basically 5 pitches taken by Pena as he continually tried to bunt and then pulled it back each time. 3-2 from Benitez. Inside, ball 4. Pena, after all that, draws the walk, and we're back to the top of the order now for Carlos Dominguez. So here's the opportunity the Cardinals have been looking for. Down by 4. They have a runner on. Still only 1 out in the inning. Tyler Plumpton out for a chat with his right-handed starting pitcher. You can feel ripples of anxiety starting to just run through this crowd here in Barrie. Mound visit charge to the Baycats as Plumpton will take the slow walk back behind home plate.
Right fielder number 30, Carlos Dominguez.
Mentioned Brad Grieveson warming in the Barrie bullpen, but they'd like to give him a clean inning. Carlos Dominguez. Showing bunt, pulls it back. It's a called strike.
I'm a little surprised to see Hamilton trying to bunt with 1 out. You only have so many outs to work with, and now really 5 left on your season at this point.
Down the line, foul ball. Well, Benitez is one of the better fielding pitchers in the IBL as well. Certainly you're not trying to give up outs, so if you're bunting for a base hit here.
Well, he did have that earlier on in this game. A bunt base hit back in the 3rd.
Here comes the crowd with an 0-2 count. Benitez to Dominguez. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed! A strikeout for IMP North, and there are 2 down in the 8th.
Just the 4th K in the game for Juan Benitez, but a big one and a big second out here in this 8th inning. Also of note, Stephen Hospital warming up in the Cardinal bullpen.
First pitch up and in Well, if you're the Cardinals, you want to get a couple more here if you can in this top of the 8th inning. Make it interesting and then put yourself within striking distance in the 9th. Anything is possible. Certainly be a lot easier if they can get a couple more here. This one popped up behind first. Hernandez to his left makes the catch. The Cardinals homer and strand a runner in the 8th. It's a 5-1 ball game. Baycats coming to bat. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie, and Cable 14 in Hamilton.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Baycats swept the Toronto Maple Leafs 3 straight. They're a strike away from doing the same to the London Majors and getting back to the IBL finals. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carlos Sano with a pitch to Victor Plaz. Here it comes. The IBL Championship Series is coming back to Barrie. The Baycats sweep the Maple Leafs, sweep the Majors, and it's back to the finals in 2024. That is what happened exactly 1 year ago tonight at this ballpark. It was a second-round playoff series. It was a sweep over the London Majors. The Baycats looking to do exactly that again here tonight with a different opponent, the Hamilton Cardinals in town.
And like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it was Juan Benitez who started that game, 7 shutout innings. He goes 8 tonight. Still thought he might go for 9. He's only at 100 pitches, but obviously, Josh Matlow likes what he sees in a Benitez. Also mentioned the last 3 times Barrie has clinched a series at home. It was Juan Benitez who started that game.
That score was 8-2. This score is 5-1. It's Carlos Sano striking out former Baycat Victor Plaz to nail down that series clinching 3rd game here in Barrie.
At bat for the Baycats, left fielder number 6.
So the Baycats looking to make September 2nd another night to remember, consecutive years. Stephen Hospital out to pitch for the Cardinals. The Baycats will look to add to their lead. Tristan Clark will lead it off.
Stephen Hospital pitched earlier on this series, and head-to-head success just hasn't been there against the Baycats. But he held them scoreless through 1 pitch in game 1. That's all he needed to do to get out of one real jam of an inning in game 1.
On the ground to short. And the easy throw over is in plenty of time from Brandon Nickel.
8th inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
So it looks like Stephen Hospital is going to get more than 1 pitch tonight. Adam Odd will come to the plate. Not a good night at the plate for Odd. He has a strikeout, a flyout, and a ground ball. 0 for 3.
Hospital's now pitched 2 1/3 after that ground out by Clark in the playoffs. Hasn't allowed an earned run. In fact, hasn't allowed an earned run in each of his last 4 appearances.
Up the middle. Handled by the shortstop Nickel. Throw to first in time for the out. 2 quick outs. Here comes Noah Hull.
Right fielder number 28, Noah Hull.
Noah Hull is one of the most intense players you'll find anywhere, and we've certainly seen it here in the playoffs. He has one gear, and that's full throttle. Bats with 2 out here in the 8th. Hospital kicks and delivers. Low and in.
Josh Matlow has loved what Noah Hull has provided this roster, both this year and last year. It's now his second year in the IBL. Just infectious energy, but also some great hitting. He hit 5 homers in the regular season. Hit just under 300.
Fly ball, left field. It'll stay in the park. Pena with a catch. So we go to the 9th, and the Barrie Baycats are 3 outs away from advancing to the IBL Championship Series. Don't go anywhere. 5-1 Baycats. Top of the 9th when we return on Baycats TV, Rogers TV, Barrie, and Cable 14 in Hamilton.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Ninth inning of play is once again brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
All right, we got a big, lively crowd here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township tonight. They are ready to celebrate. Barrie up by 4 runs. Last call for the Cardinals here in the 9th inning. These fans are making some noise. Brandon Nickel will lead it off for Hamilton. Carlos Sano is on the pitch for Barrie, and the first pitch pop-up, right side. It'll be Nolan Macabroda having it go off his glove. He had Hernandez coming in behind him, and Hernandez did not call him off, but certainly Macabroda was mindful of his presence right on the doorstep there. I wonder if that got in his head a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got spun around a little bit on that play. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited.
So it's the first Barrie error of this ball game, and it comes with nobody out in the 9th. Carlos Sano now will have to work with a runner on. First pitch to Duncan, swing and a miss.
Yeah, Sano has had 3 appearances in these playoffs so far, and he's 1-1 with 1 save. So he's had some kind of decision in each of those first 3, a 2.07 ERA and 4 1/3 innings. Didn't pitch on Sunday after the Baycats had some insurance in the 9th inning in Hamilton, and Braden Packla ended up finishing that game, having a 2-inning outing to close it out.
Duncan lays off, and the count is 1-1. Again, just really surprised to see the Cardinals swinging so early in at-bats here, and especially in these late innings. Almost looks like they're trying to catch the last GO train out of Barrie tonight. Carlos Sano with a 1-1 count. Duncan, ready? Here's the pitch. Called strike 2.
Now we're just over 2 hours into this game. That's how efficient the Baycats pitching has been. And you could even say that for the Cardinals relievers in the last couple innings of this one.
Pretty sure this will be the shortest game we've called here at home this year if this 9th inning finishes up quickly here. 1-2 to Duncan. Sano looks in. Here's the pitch. Just missed outside. 2-2 the count. Carlos Sano with a 2.07 ERA and 3 playoff appearances, 4 1/3 innings. He has been as reliable as you could possibly ask for here. Runner leads at first, that's Nickel. Takes a step or two to his right. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Called strike 3! Brought to you by IMP North. Duncan did not like that call.
And obviously he's feeling like he has nothing to lose at this point, arguing with home plate umpire Michael Guthrow.
And now the Baycats are potentially a ground ball away from ending this series. 1 out in the inning, runner at first. Here's Yomer Hernandez. Fans with that double play, double play, double play chant that is customary here with 1 out and a runner on. And now time is called. Somebody's been tossed.
Angel Castro furious. Obviously, he's ejected from this game. I think there's another ejection coming from third base umpire Scott Costello. Here comes
Multiple
Caleb
ejections here in this 9th inning with 1 out. Angel Castro was the first one tossed. We know that.
Caleb Sorosky looks like he was ejected from the dugout. He's on his way out of here. Obviously, Luis Bernardo and Perry Scott having to get in between Angel Castro there. Castro was very, very vocal in game 1 of this series and had some words for Guthrow early on in this one, but this one obviously is coming to a boiling point.
Well, the Cardinals' frustrations just boiling over here in this 9th inning. 2 ejections. Carlos Sano will throw some tosses here. Now the third base umpire getting an earful. And Scott Costello at third. Looks like everyone has said what they have to say.
I think Bernardo is still having some words for Costello there from the coach's box.
Middle infield, double play depth. The Hernandez brothers will be ready if anything is on the ground. 1 out in the inning. Runner at first. Sano to Yomer Hernandez. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
So it looked like only 2 ejections there. Angel Castro, the Cardinals pitching coach, and then Caleb Sorosky from the dugout, who was very vocal as well.
Hernandez with 3 flyouts tonight. Behind in the count here, 0-1 to Carlos Sano. Here's the pitch. Fouled off to the right, and the count is 0-2. Brandon Nickel reached on an error. He's at first base with 1 out. Tommy Reyes-Cruz on deck. Hernandez holds the bat high. Tyler Plumpton, the target. Carlos Sano, 0-2 pitch to center field, and it drops for a base hit. 2 on for the Cardinals.
And Noel McGarry-Doyle charged that from center field. It looked like he was trying to decide whether to dive for that ball, but ends up making what seems to be a smart decision, not risking anything here in a 9th inning of a 4-run game. But now the tying run potentially is on deck, so now a save situation here for Carlos Sano.
Situation like this, you just want to keep every ball in front of you. Don't let anything get past. Still some wiggle room here with a 4-run lead, so certainly no need to panic. Tommy Reyes-Cruz will bat, 1 out. Nickel at second, Hernandez at first. Sano's pitch. Ground ball to second. Hernandez drops it, makes the throw in time for the out. Reyes-Cruz is retired 4-3. Runners advance, and Jaden Brown will bat with 2 outs in the ninth.
Great effort there from Hernandez to knock that down with a slide, and ends up gathering himself and the ball in time to get the out with Reyes-Cruz. Obviously, Jaden Brown, that big home run, is the only run the Cardinals have to show for themselves tonight, back in the 8th inning.
Carlos Sano knows he has power. We saw it in the 8th inning. He'll bat with 2 on and 2 out here in the 9th. 5-1 Baycats. Sano's pitch. Swing and a miss. Brown 1 for 3. Couple of ground outs with that home run. Nickel at third. Hernandez is second. First base open. 5-1 Barrie. 2 out in the 9th. Sano delivers. Inside, and the count is 1-1.
Yeah, after seeing that big swing from Brown in the first pitch, trying to work him inside a little bit on that second pitch. See how far he'll go to chase.
Matt Hildebrandt is the on-deck hitter. Represents the potential tying run if Brown can keep this going. 1-1 pitch from Sano on the way. Called strike 2. And the Baycats now a strike away from advancing to the IBL championships. This crowd was dead silent before that last pitch. They're making some noise now with 2 strikes. Jaden Brown with a 1-2 count. Carlos Sano looks in. The 1-2 pitch. Bounces up to the plate. Tyler Plumpton blocks it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Top of the 9th, excuse me. Hamilton at the plate here, down by 4. Listen to this crowd urging Carlos Sano to end it here. Brown is ready. Sano with a long look in. Now he comes to the belt. Two-two pitch from Sano. Fouled off to the right.
Well, Jaden Brown's done a great job trying to extend this at-bat as long as he can, but at this point, even with the tying run on deck, it seems like he's just extending the inevitable.
Everybody in that Baycats dugout standing on the top step. These fans ready to party here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Barrie up by 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carlos Sano with the pitch. Good night! For the 3rd straight year, the road to the championship will pass through Barrie. Baycats complete the sweep over the Hamilton Cardinals with a 5-1 Game 3 victory here tonight.
It seemed like a consistent theme throughout this series was the Baycats bats finally coming alive and the Cardinals not being able to hold it together at the plate or on defense. They score only 2 runs in the course of 27 innings in this series. Really, the Baycats pitching with Juan Benitez, Carlos Sano in this game. Really the story, but the pitching for Barrie has been the story all season long, all postseason long. And it culminates in a 3rd consecutive trip to the IBL Finals.
After being just a few innings away from elimination in Game 5 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Barrie Baycats have turned their playoff fortunes around. A 3-game sweep over the Hamilton Cardinals and a frustrating finish to the year for Hamilton. They're out for handshakes and hugs with the Baycats here as Barrie gets ready to face the Welland Jackfish or the Guelph Royals. Winner of that will face Barrie. Game 1 will be on Saturday. We'll have the full schedule for you up on the Baycats website, barriebaycats.com. For Julius, Hern, and our Baycats TV crew, I'm Ben Davy. Good night from Athletic Kulture Stadium.